Let's suppose a project or program has been proposed, maybe even already started. Perhaps evaluation funds have been reallocated and a manager has become concerned about impact issues. What happens next? We are Group A and will present Chapter 3. Chapter 3 addresses budget constraints and 5 strategies that are often faced by evaluators. First, we will discuss the simplification of the evaluation design. Simplification begins as a discussion with the client, discussing the methodological preferences. This may lead to the acceptability of a relatively simple design. One of the first strategies is usually accomplished by eliminating the collection of data on the project or comparison group before the project begins, or on the comparison group after the project is implemented. In the simplest design, when data is collected on only the post-test project group, the data collection budget can be reduced by as much as 80%. A clear understanding of the priorities and information needs of clients and other key stakeholders is an essential first early step, encouraged in the design of a good evaluation, and an effective way for the real-world evaluator to eliminate unnecessary data collection and analysis, hence reducing cost and time. Anytime secondary data can be utilized, there will be a decrease in the need for the collection of primary data. This will reduce evaluation costs. For example, if you are evaluating a study that would like to determine the rate of vaccinations among pregnant women at a hospital, it would be much more cost-effective to access vaccine records for all pregnant patients rather than try to individually survey each and every pregnant person. In all cost-saving recommendations, it is vital to involve the client in the decisions, but it is absolutely essential when evaluating the size and structure of the sample. The role of the evaluator is to understand the client's information needs and how the evaluation findings will be utilized. The evaluator will need to discuss the trade-offs between precision and statistical credibility of the findings on one hand, and the cost to the client on the other. The decision for cutting out any information or analysis should be made jointly between the evaluator and the client. As well as the reduction of sample size, cost savings can often be achieved through the reduction of the length and complexity of the data collection instruments. This entails the elimination of non-essential information. The following are examples of ways to reduce the amount of information collected. The range of topics can be reduced to those of greatest priority. The number of interviewees can be reduced. Decreased number of documents analyzed. Time periods studied may be shortened. Methods that may decrease data collection won't always decrease data analysis. In fact, they may increase the cost of data analysis. Examples include the use of self-administered questionnaires, direct observation instead of surveys, automatic counters, inputting data through handheld devices, hiring and training student nurses, and other more economical data collectors. Using methodological triangulation to obtain confirmational data can help determine the accuracy of information when only limited amounts of data can be collected. It is again important to define information requirements with the client and not to arbitrarily eliminate information simply to produce a shorter data collection instrument. Quantitative evaluation methodologies. Key characteristics are that standardized indicators are defined and data collection procedures are used throughout the evaluation to ensure comparability. Qualitative evaluation data is usually non-numeric and are therefore gathered, analyzed, and reported differently than quantitative data. While some qualitative methods follow precise implementation guidelines, in most cases, the researcher is given much more flexibility in terms of how the methods are applied. In fact, many qualitative evaluators would not accept the concept of standard designs. Cost and time reduction strategies are easier to define for quantitative evaluation because the interviews will tend to have a similar duration and there is normally a standard cost for each interview. Cost reduction strategies are not so clearly defined. For most qualitative evaluations, because the time required to prepare a case study or conduct participant observations can vary and are difficult to estimate in advance. Designs that produce a potential cost savings may begin at the study's midterm, or eliminate baseline comparisons, or even eliminate the comparison group altogether. When making eliminations, questions that need to be asked might include, can we use a simpler and cheaper design? Do we really need to collect all of this information? Has someone already collected some of the information we need? Can we reduce the number of interviews, observations, cases, and so on, without sacrificing the necessary precision? Is there a cheaper way to collect the information? In all cases, be sure to include the client in the decisions. The reduction in costs will involve trade-offs and pose a threat to the validity of the evaluation findings and recommendations. These include the validity of the internal design, statistical conclusions, construct, and external validity. Whenever a weaker evaluation design is used, it is strongly recommended to budget some additional resources and time to strengthen the essential design components. Some strategies, such as the incorporation of a program theory model or the use of triangulation, may not greatly increase cost or time, but can make a major contribution to strengthening the validity and utility of the evaluation findings and recommendations. In summary, addressing budget constraints requires a multifaceted approach. Methods such as simplifying evaluation design, seeking clarification regarding beneficiaries' needs, utilizing existing data, reducing sample size, reducing costs of data collection and analysis, and understanding common threats to validity of budget constraints aid the researcher in accomplishing these tasks. Using these methods, solitarily or combined, may make all the difference for the success and sustainability of the project. On behalf of Emmanuel, Chris, Jennifer, Emma, and myself, we hope this presentation helps you develop strategies for conducting an evaluation on a tight budget.